She thought she could bury the truth. That her mother's name would remain locked away, just a whispered ghost in the red light district. But in the palace, nothing stays buried. Not when Jinshi, the most beautiful, most unreadable official in the court, called for her again. This time there was no veil of politeness, no gentle inquiries. He looked her dead in the eyes and asked, "Who is your father?" The question sliced deeper than any knife. Mao didn't answer. She didn't know. Not really, but the way Jinshi stared at her, it was as if he did. Once upon a time, she was an unknown wild bird, just another nameless face in the vast, dark city. Then she met Lu Jinshi, the most honorable, most powerful young official in the emperor's court. Her reputation was at stake, but so was her heart. Because as the truth slowly revealed itself, she realized she didn't want to be just the Jade Phoenix. She wanted to be Mao, the girl who dared to dream, the girl who dared to love. But could she have both? Could she embrace her past without losing everything? Or was she destined to forever be a bird in a golden cage? The final piece of the puzzle fell into place. The truth hit her like a thunderbolt. Jinxie knew everything. He had known from the start. But why? Why did he take her in? Why did he train her? Why did he protect her all this time? And now, why was he destroying her? Was it just a game for him? A twisted, cruel joke? Or was there something more? Something darker and more sinister lurking beneath his jade mask? In that moment, she understood. Their relationship was never a partnership. It was a transaction. He bought her loyalty bit by bit, case by case, until she was completely his, and now he was ready to cash in his investment. But she wasn't ready to give up. She had come too far. She'd fought too hard. And besides, there was more at stake now. There was love. There was trust. And sometimes those were the most powerful weapons of all. With a heavy heart and a determined gaze, she confronted Jinshi. The truth hung between them, unspoken but undeniable. In that tense moment, everything changed. Alliances shifted, loyalties were tested, and hearts were broken. But in the midst of the chaos, one thing became clear. Mao was no ordinary sparrow. She was a survivor. She would rise from the ashes, stronger, wiser, and more resilient than ever before. Because when life knocks you down, the only way is up. He saw something in her, a sharpness, a cleverness, and took her under his wing. With his protection, she became famous throughout the land as the smartest, most intuitive detective in the world. Together, they solved mysteries that baffled even the emperor. People called them the Golden Sparrow and the Jade Phoenix, a perfect pair who could solve any case. But behind the scenes, their relationship was anything but harmonious. Jinshi was aloof, distant. And Mao, once bold and headstrong, was slowly losing her feathers, becoming a caged bird. Afraid to speak, afraid to breathe, afraid to move a muscle lest she provoke him. For Jinshi was not just powerful, he was dangerous. Even the slightest whiff of disrespect could send shivers down his spine. There are rumors, he continued softly, that a certain courtesan bore a child years ago. A child with sharp eyes and a sharper tongue. The air was thick with tension as he finally revealed his true intentions. He wanted her to find out who her father was. The past, he said, had returned to haunt them both. And if she didn't uncover the truth, their partnership would end. Their reputation would crumble and she would be left with nothing. To get to the bottom of this mystery, she had to dig into her own family tree. It was a dangerous game, but for love, for loyalty, and perhaps for her own survival, she had to play it. Little did she know, she was stepping into a battlefield where everyone had secrets and no one could be trusted. As she dove deeper into the investigation, she discovered a tangled web of lies, deceit, and betrayal. Suddenly, she found herself in a deadly game of cat and mouse with Jinshi, questioning everyone, watching everyone, waiting for the next move. She had to be careful. Jinshi was a master strategist. He always seemed to be one step ahead. Every move she made, he countered. It was a frustrating, terrifying dance, but she refused to give up. She had come too far to turn back now. Mao's mouth went dry. He knew. But instead of accusing her, Jinshi, the man who had her trapped like a bird in a gilded cage, smiled and handed her a sealed scroll. "I need a favor." The scroll contained a list of named officials, guards and noblemen, all connected to a single incident, a recent poisoning in the outer court. The case was being silenced, covered up. But Jinshi wanted the truth. And what she found wasn't just poison. It was politics, the kind that could bring down ministers, the kind that could kill without ever drawing a knife. When she reported back to Jinshi, he simply nodded. No praise, no reward. Just a single sentence. You did well, daughter Fai Yu. Her blood froze. He had confirmed it. He had known all along. And now he had her tethered. Because when the most dangerous man in the palace knows who you are, he doesn't destroy you. He uses you. I trust her knows more than theirs. It wasn't a request. It was a command disguised as a compliment. Melma understood instantly. If she succeeded, she would gain more favor. If she failed, she'd be disposable. But she also knew this wasn't about poison. This was a test. A test from the one man whose smile she feared more than any blade, so she accepted. She began her investigation, quietly examining dishes, interviewing cooks, sneaking into chambers no servant should ever enter. Her name is Mao Mao. Now, she's a sparrow who has flown too close to the sun. But then came the day that shattered everything. Jinshi summoned her to his chambers. Meanwhile, in the imperial court, whispers were growing louder. Rumors of a hidden past, of a secret parentage.